Hi, I'm Boris, T&W founder and your host for Kia's Next Big Drive. In this series, we will be giving a lift to 5 innovators speaking at T&W 2025. Let's get going.
Good morning. I'm charging the car and then I'm going to pick up Daniel Gebler, who's the CTO of Picnic. And Picnic is the fastest growing online supermarket. So I got some questions for him. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Boris. Good seeing you. Yes, fantastic.
So, on to the conference we're going.
Yes, off to Next Web.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of talks? Have you prepared well for your keynote?
I did quite a bit in the past. Now I'm much more selective. So Next Web is one of the events that I absolutely love and looking very much forward to it.
Right. Can you tell me a little bit about the company? Because you took something really simple, groceries, and turned it into a digital platform. How did you get started?
Yeah.
What was the moment where you're like, this is what we're gonna do?
The funny thing is that e-commerce itself exists obviously already since 30 years. And people have tried to do all kind of verticals. So it started with books and electronics, and at some point also people tried food. But nobody really cracked it. And around 10 years ago, we looked again in this market and identified basically two things. Yeah. Nobody wants to pay more online than offline, so delivery fees is not good. And delivery was not acceptable. And you can't ask you need to provide a perfect service at the door. Yeah. And if you combine those two things, which sounds super simple, kind of first principles, then you get to an entire new service which didn't exist before. We came up with a new logistical model, which we call the milkman model. And that basically was day one, or basically day zero of Picnic. Yeah. And we started here in Netherlands, rolled out step by step to Germany, then to France, and now we're looking for further expansion.
And so you have no offline stores, right? It's only digital.
Exactly. So you order today all the food you like, and we deliver tomorrow. Yeah. And in the beginning, we started with a manual fulfillment process. So that means the packing together of the orders was done in a manual way. And what we did a couple of years ago, we started to robotize it. So what is now happening is that many of those processes in a fulfillment center, but also last mile, are automated and robotized. And this is obviously a kind of a big boost for productivity, but also for freshness and for many other things.
Wow, that's amazing. About the robots, was that one of the tech solutions that at first seems like insane or just unrealistic and then became normal?
So robots itself in a fulfillment, in a logistical process, is not a new idea. That exists already since 50 years. And when we started Picnic in 2015, we already very early on looked in robotic solutions. But it was not feasible at that point in time from a perspective of the available AI, the compute, and many things didn't really work out. So for us, the inflection point was 2020, when all kind of new technologies came together and we could start with robots. So we launched our first automated fulfillment center in 21, then the second one in 23, and very recently, actually last week, we launched our third one, which is the biggest automated fulfillment center in Europe, which we have built in Oberhausen, so close to Netherlands.
Yeah. And if you walk around, can you describe what it looks like?
So in a normal fulfillment center, where you do manual fulfillment, it looks like a dark store or a big warehouse, like a supermarket, just a little bit bigger. Yeah. And then as an order picker, you first pick the bananas, then the cheese and the cucumbers, etc. So that means as an order picker, you easily walk 20, 30,000 steps every single day. You don't need any longer fitness subscription. But you can do this in a much smarter way. Instead of you going to a product, the product can come with a robot to you. Sounds very obvious, but there's a lot of detail to make that work. So we built a big warehouse where with conveyor belts and robots, products come to you as an order picker. You can very quickly make a quality check of the product and put it in the bag of the customer. And this is what we have built as the first version in Utrecht in 21. And then over many iterations, we have now built a big fulfillment center in Germany, which is 50,000 square meters. So this is a really, really big installation.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're investing a lot into the technology, right? It's not just, oh, we're going to sell stuff online, do some marketing. This is like you're inventing stuff.
Absolutely. So in that sense, in the startup world, everybody talks about product or technology-led growth. This is something what we really have incorporated as a first principle on our side. But this is something what you always need to basically, you have a dual. On the one hand, you have built new product and technology features, but on the other hand, you need to be also very smart on how do you communicate to customers. So one of the interesting things that we realized is we have many customers, but our core customer base are families that want to have a kind of a regular order or buying rhythm, but also they don't want to buy just single items, but actually sets of items, meals. So we have switched a couple of years ago more to become the best meal shopper instead of just the single and best single item shopper.
Are there retail trends that I missed and that you're aware of?
So there's all kind of micro and macro trends, but one interesting and really exciting trend is that everything moves more to sustainability. But this is not only the kind of the products that you buy, but even more the packaging. So if you imagine in a physical supermarket, everything is packaged in a way that it triggers a purchase impulse based on a shelf, in the way how you place it in a shelf. Yeah. While in online, it doesn't matter so much how it looks like in a warehouse. It needs to look nice at your home. Right. So hence we design our own product line that looks actually beautiful in your home, but maybe doesn't look as nice in a physical shelf location. So this is obviously one very important trend. The other one is, if you think about deliveries, then you always go full to a customer, you go empty back. That is actually not efficient. So we started also a return logistics service where when you order, for instance, fashion from a fashion retailer, where you need to, or where you often send something back, we take those kind of items that you send back, also with Picnic, back to the merchant where you bought it.
Yeah. And like, how do you keep on top of innovation, like in general? Like, are you the guy going out to other supermarkets and stealing their ideas, or how does that work?
Actually, we are much more customer obsessed than our competitor obsessed. So we obviously know a bit what the rest of the industry is doing, but what we're really interested in is what customers are asking us, and even more, what customers would ask us if they would know exactly what they want. So there we see obviously very early kind of trends, and we probe a lot of new ideas. A few stick, a few don't stick, and then we basically roll out all the stuff that works with customers.
Right. Is there a technology or an innovation that you would like to steal or borrow from a different industry and apply to Picnic?
What we see, for instance, in the manufacturing industry, the level, the degree of autonomy in robotics is actually enormously high. So what we see now in fulfillment centers as robotics is probably the level of robotics that the manufacturing industry saw 20 years ago. So I would love to make this step of the last 20 years that has happened in manufacturing also in fulfillment, and hopefully not in 20, but in 2 years.
Right. So Picnic is highly automated, but I assume there's also parts where you feel like the human touch is still important. Can you tell me about that?
Actually, we have done obviously a lot of automation. We're using quite a bit of AI, but I'm also a big fan of AI-free days. So everybody has a half a day or 1 day per week where you don't use any AI tool, where you hone your own skills, because it's important to keep to be also reflective. This is one. The other thing is, I'm also a big fan of customer service and customer empathy. For instance, when you describe product or when you answer a kind of a customer feedback mail, that is done by humans. I'm not a big fan of automating that part, because that means you shortcut all the kind of you basically prevent the learning in the organization from customer feedback. So hence, while everybody is automating customer service, I'm absolutely not interested in that part. I'm much more interested in automating and robotizing basically the technical fulfillment part, and the customer part, interactions, customer service, etc. I love to do in a manual way.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna do a simple game with you of association. I'm gonna give you a few words, and I just I want your quick reaction to like the like if I say flow, you say
staying in it.
All right. That's how it's gonna work. Okay. All right. Acceleration.
Essential.
A startup.
Forever.
Change.
And every day, every time.
Data.
The fuel for everything what we do.
That's the one you have to think about the longest, right? Data.
Yeah, and it's an interesting thing. So data is so essential for us that also the usage of data is changing a little bit over time. So we use data in the beginning, obviously, to understand what customers are doing, but also to motivate kind of new business cases. For now, data becomes actually even more central. So when I'm looking, for instance, about building new technology like robots, I'm thinking first about the data that I can get and how the data can basically drive the business instead of the kind of the technology, the software around it. So data is even, let's say, the first thought, and then software comes as the second one.
If you would look at your business and rank by keywords, because this is an important one. So there's robots, there's data, there's artificial intelligence.
Number one is a customer. So that remains definitely number one, customer.
Yeah.
Number two is continuous innovation. I think what is very important is we are in an industry where everybody copies basically what we do or what everybody else is doing. So for us, the simple criteria is if we can win against ourselves in 2 or 3 months' time, then we have a kind of a running business. If we lose that edge, then we are basically toast. And the third one is obviously technology, data, robotics, roughly all on the same level, but this is very, very interconnected.
Do you feel like AI is gonna change your business again? Like, is that what part? Is it like a logical next step, or do you fear AI, or how does that impact?
I think I absolutely love AI and have done a PhD in AI, and basically this is something which is very close to my heart. AI existed already in a very significant way before 21. AI will also exist much, much longer, and I feel that while obviously there's a lot of hype about the growth and the power of the technology, the disruption of businesses and of society will go actually probably much slower than we all envision. While we obviously see already a lot of change now, but it is very likely a 10, 20, 30 year cycle that we see that will driven by AI.
So you don't see yourself replacing management with AI anytime soon?
Actually, I'm pretty sure that the management as we know now and leadership will change in a very significant way. And most likely management will, at least what we now have as management, will not be in that form exist or be relevant. What is very interesting is that the relevance of ownership, owning what you build, owning what you run, will become even more important because everybody will be a designer, a builder, and also an operator. So this is all matched basically together.
So you're the biggest online grocery store? Is that how you explain it? Yeah. And do you see Picnic expanding into other fields in the future? Like once you have the customer relationship, anything is possible?
The interesting thing is, so we started with food. We are the biggest in Netherlands. We are very close to that also in Germany and France, which opens up, builds basically a monopoly on the door because we see actually our customers at least once per week. So you can do a lot with that. We do now food, obviously that can go beyond food at some point. We do forward logistics, so we deliver stuff to customers. We have started with return logistics, so that is possible. And there are many, many more things that you can imagine on the basis of such a kind of a dense delivery network.
Yes. Well, I think we're here. I hope you had a pleasant drive.
Thank you so much.
I'm not going to charge you for the drive. It's just this one is on me.
We as a community obviously are very grateful for what you have done, Boris. But if it doesn't work out with Next Web, you can also become a fantastic driver.
That's great to know.
Want more? Check out the next episode or watch the full Kia's Next Big Drive series right here. See you on the road.